What's up guys, it's Matt from TDM Style here. Welcome back to the channel once again, and in today's video we are having a look at some luxury leather sneakers from Oliver Cabell. Now, white sneakers were something that I really kind of got into as soon as I started kind of experimenting with more, fashion or just, I don't know, popular clothing. In other words, like back for years, I never owned a pair of white sneakers because I thought like I'll never be able to keep them clean. It's not a good look for me, whatever. And then a few years ago when I started really getting into hairstyling and some fashion stuff, I was like, you know what? I need a pair of white sneakers. So at that time, I bought what, most people kind of start with, and that was a pair of the white Adidas Stan Smiths. And that's kind of like, I would assume, that's kind of what I would consider to be the well-known silhouette of, white low-top sneakers. And so there have been a whole bunch of brands kind of come out with their own versions and different silhouettes and things. And what we're seeing a lot of now, I'm talking a lot with my hands today. Must be because these are Italian shoes, so my Italian's coming out. Anyway, so what we're seeing a lot of these days, aside from the kind of lower cost versions, so like the actual Adidas Stan Smiths, those are usually priced around, 50, 60 bucks. Of course, there are more premium versions of those. And then there are other brands now that are making, these more kind of like premium or luxury white sneakers that are actually leather. So you're looking at a more expensive price tag, but you're also looking at a shoe that's going to last you quite a bit longer. And I think I wouldn't necessarily call them the pioneer. I don't really know enough about the brand yet, but I know that Common Projects is a very, very popular brand that makes these kind of white leather sneakers. And so when you look at Common Projects, those you'll find in your department stores like Nordstrom and Neiman Marcus and all those type of places that sell more designer clothing and footwear. And so the Common Projects price tag is usually around 400 bucks. Now in come brands like Oliver Cabell, where they do the kind of direct-to-consumer model. So instead of going into Nordstrom's and paying a fucking insane premium, sidebar, like I would shop at Nordstrom's because they have a lot of, designer brands that I enjoy, like Paul Smith and Ted Baker and stuff, but goddamn those premiums! Anyway, back to the footwear. So now brands like Oliver Cabell that are doing the direct-to-consumer thing, they're aiming to have the same quality as Common Projects, but at basically half the cost. We've seen this before, like when I did my review of the Beckett Simonon boots. It's a similar kind of, direct-to-consumer model. The main difference between, like, for example's sake, Beckett Simonon and Oliver Cabell. Beckett Simonon, you got to order it and wait, 6 to 8 weeks for them to be made and delivered to you. Oliver Cabell, you can order it and it'll be shipped out like the next morning and you'll get them very quickly. So now that we've had kind of a general overview of all that, let's take a look at the actual shoes, man. So, in terms of packaging and pricing, these do come in your, standard shoebox, although it has kind of like a linen-y texture on it, which just, I don't know, it just feels premium, I guess. So, nice looking box, got their logo on the outside, and then, of course, inside you have your shoes. So the pair that I have here is the Low 1, obviously in solid white. And now you can get these in all different kinds of colors. And then of course they have some other silhouettes as well, like the German army trainer style. And they also make some boots, which they look real nice. So I may have to buy myself a pair of those in the future. Now, as far as the price tag on these come in at $205. There's actually, it's funny, I was looking at the website to confirm that before I came down to film, and literally right now, at the time that I'm filming this, they're doing a little sale, so they're actually like $177 right now. However, that sale ends in 2 hours, so unfortunately, by the time you see this video, that sale will be over. But just keep in mind that, you know, keep an eye on their website because they do have sales every now and again. So you could get a pair of these shoes for even less than $200. Another thing to note about the price, they do offer free shipping for US orders over $100 and free worldwide shipping for orders over $170. So essentially, you buy a pair of shoes, it's free shipping. They do also sell some other things like shoe trees and some cleaning and care products like shoe cleaner and a brush and like leather treatment. And actually, from what I understand, they have the first on the market cleaning product, or restorative product rather, that's designed for white leather shoes. If you have like some minor scratches and scuffs, you can get this white leather stuff and basically revive your shoes to look like brand new. So, into the shoes and construction themselves. So what I actually like about their website too, back to the price for a moment here, on each shoe, they actually offer a price breakdown. So they show you exactly where all your dollars are going. Like it costs this much for the uppers, this much for the soles, and this much for the construction and shipping and blah, 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 blah. So I thought that was just really neat that you get to see exactly like, why do these cost $200? Anyway, into the construction and the shoes themselves. So these guys are constructed in the Marche region of Italy, and now let's talk about all the different components that go in here. Now, as far as the uppers and the covers on these, those are all full grain Italian calfskin leather, so it's that kind of just buttery, smooth, soft stuff. These are also calfskin lining, so on the inside of, I don't know, that was a weird, let me take my shoe tree out and I can show you better. So inside the, don't mind my dirty looking orthotic insert in there, but these linings inside the shoe are all calfskin leather as well. So, you know, for comparison's sake, in the, you know, $60 Adidas Stan Smiths, those are cloth interiors, which obviously that helps to keep the price down, but it also wears out very quickly. These soles, the outer soles, are Margam, and that's kind of known for being very durable and very lightweight rubber, and it is. See how long that floated up there? These are Italian cotton laces, and then I mentioned I have orthotic inserts in mine. However, they do come with these removable insoles. These are actually made in Spain, and these insoles have a covering of calfskin leather as well. So basically, the entire shoe, aside from the laces and half of the insoles, is leather. So there's a big part of your pricing right there. And as I mentioned earlier, the thing is, yeah, it's kind of a lot to spend a couple $100 on a pair of sneakers, but yeah, you could go buy the $50, $60 Stan Smiths and they're gonna look nice and they're cheap and whatever, but they're cheap. So like other clothing, they're gonna wear out. So for instance, the ones that I had, after maybe a year, the cloth lining was all chewed up, they were super just creased and dirty, and they were starting to break down in places. So basically, yeah, you could spend $60 on those, but you're gonna have to buy a new pair every year. Versus with these leather sneakers, much like, you know, spending money on a pair of good quality leather dress shoes or boots, they're going to last you, for these sneakers, I would say they're going to last you at least 5 to 7 years, maybe longer, depending on how often you wear them and, you know, what kind of care you take of them. So if you're making sure to keep them clean and use your leather treatment once in a while just to keep everything up to snuff, maybe they'll even last you 10 or 15 years, who knows? Now, as far as mine, I almost just hit myself in the face with that lace right there. So I have been wearing these basically on the daily for the past 4 or 5 weeks. I mean, I really wanted to just try them out big time and, you know, see what kind of wear and tear you could put on them if you're wearing them, you know, basically 8 hours a day, every day. And so we'll dive into some close-ups here. Now, I was going to like clean them and really polish them up so they would look mint on camera, but I said, you know what, let's leave that little bit of stuff. I mean, actually, I'm getting a little bit of a sticker on the bottom of my sole here. I don't really know where I stepped on that. But yeah, like so basic little bits of dirt and stuff. So just to give you an idea of like, you know, this is general maintenance that you'll have to do just to kind of take a, you know, a damp paper towel or something and wipe that off. Big deal. But I mean, very little creasing. And they basically just still look mint anyway, even though I didn't bother, making an effort to really clean them up before getting them in these bright lights behind the camera. So for me, whatever reason that this happens, I guess I bend my left foot more than my right one. So this one you can see a little bit more creasing in the toe area, which, yeah, they're shoes. They're not going to look super brand new mint forever if you're wearing them all the time. It's just not going to happen. But you can do some things to reduce that. So I mentioned, I bought some shoe trees. Oliver Cabell does sell their own. I bought these Woodlore ones on Amazon. I think I got 2 pair of them for like $40 or something around there. And so I highly recommend doing the shoe tree thing, just because, you keep those in there when you're not wearing them, and that will help to reduce the amount of creasing. It helps to reduce odors as well, because they're made out of cedar, and that's just what cedar does. Yeah, so they're definitely, if you're gonna spend a couple $100 and invest in a shoe that you want to keep like looking good for the next 5 to 7 years, spend the extra $40 on the shoe trees too, and you'll have a much easier time taking care of the shoes. So overall thoughts on the Oliver Cabell Low 1 white premium leather sneakers. I love these, man. I really, really love these. And I was super stoked that they reached out to me and, asked if they could send me a pair to do a review on. That was perfect timing, because I kept looking at my Stan Smiths that were just dingy and destroyed, and they kind of became like my junk shoes. And I was like, man, I really need a new pair of, nice white sneakers that I can actually wear that don't look like shit. So it was perfect timing. I was really excited to get these, and they've just been great. They're super comfortable. There was really very little or maybe even no break-in period. They were just comfortable from the get-go. They are true to size, so I am normally a size 12, and I find with certain leather shoes that that number can kind of shift a little bit, but no, size 12, these fit perfectly. And so I actually ordered myself some of their shoe cleaning stuff this morning, so I'll be interested to see how that works out. But typically I've just been cleaning these with, like I said, a damp paper towel, and it works out great. So that wraps things up for this video, guys. I hope that you found this helpful. Please do stay tuned. We've got another video coming out this weekend. We're taking a look at 2 hair products from Lodestar Grooming, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below to keep up to date with everything. And as always, thank you guys so much for coming by and watching, and we'll see you at the next one.